At the beginning of the story, we are introduced to a ruthless general named Derek. With his massive army, he travels from one planet to another, conquering worlds and forcing their people into slavery. Today, his target is another peaceful civilization. But unlike so many before them, these people refuse to kneel before his army. Their courage comes at a terrible price. Within minutes, Derek wipes out a civilization that had survived for thousands of years. Only the planet's leader remains alive. Broken and desperate, he begs Derek to spare his family. Derek looks at him without a trace of mercy and says, "Don't be afraid. Your bloodline won't end. In fact, it will continue. Your daughters will become entertainment for my soldiers. But as the leader of this world, you must pay for your rebellion." Then Derek calls the chief's young son forward. He places the royal staff into the boy's trembling hands and orders him to crush his own father's skull with it. Derek promises that if the boy obeys, his mother and sister will be set free. But if he refuses, all of them will die alongside his father. The boy has no choice. Fighting back tears, he obeys the horrifying order and brutally kills his own father. Once it is over, Derek's soldiers drag the boy away. Derek pulls one of the chief's teeth and keeps it as a trophy, a symbol of yet another victory. The chief's wife already knows the truth. Derek is a monster who never keeps his promises. The moment the boy is taken away, Derek orders the execution of the chief's entire family. This is the fate of every world that dares to resist him. Because of his cruelty, people across the galaxy live in constant fear of Derek and his army. Although Derek's empire possesses unimaginable military power, there is one thing they cannot produce enough of: grain. Without food, even the strongest army cannot survive. Whenever their supplies begin to run low, they invade farming planets and seize whatever they need. This time, Derek arrives on a peaceful farming world known as Phoenix. Its people work tirelessly to grow their own crops, and life has been peaceful until Derek's enormous warship appears in the sky. A farmer named Mike suggests a simple solution. He tells the village chief, "Why don't we keep enough grain for ourselves and sell the rest to them? They're offering 3 times the market price." But Sophia immediately disagrees. She knows exactly who Derek is. "They didn't come here to buy our grain," she says. "They came to take everything we have. They must never know how much we actually harvest." Soon, Derek lands with several of his soldiers. The village chief greets him politely, hoping to avoid bloodshed. Derek explains that his army is running out of food, and without grain, no army can remain strong. The chief calmly replies that their land is rocky and barely produces enough food to feed their own people. He tells Derek that he wishes he had enough grain to help, but they simply don't. Derek studies the village carefully. The fertile land and the healthy, smiling faces of the villagers immediately expose the chief's lie. Without saying another word, Derek brutally kills him in front of everyone. Then he turns to Mike and gives him a terrifying order. "In 8 weeks, Derek says, I expect 10,000 sacks of grain waiting for me." Mike desperately explains that the entire village can barely harvest 12,000 sacks. If they hand over 10,000, everyone else will starve. Derek couldn't care less whether they lived or died. Before leaving, he stations several soldiers in the village to watch over the people until his return. Along with them, he leaves behind a robot named Victor, whose only job is to help with simple labor around the village. Victor is unlike any ordinary machine. Long ago, he served as the personal bodyguard of the royal family of Mother World. But after the royal family was murdered, he lost the very reason for his existence. Since that day, he laid down his weapons and swore never to fight again. The soldiers know about his programming. They believe that no matter how badly they treat him, Victor will never fight back. To prove it, one of them fires several bullets straight into his body, tearing through his metal frame. Victor doesn't resist. He simply stands there in silence, enduring every shot without raising a hand against them. He could have defended himself if he wanted to, but for reasons no one understands, he has completely shut down his combat instincts. When another soldier prepares to continue the abuse, their commander finally orders everyone to stop. He tells Victor to wash himself and get back to work as if nothing had happened. While Victor is cleaning the damage from his body, a young woman named Sam quietly approaches him. Seeing the condition he's in breaks her heart. She feels sorry for him, but Victor calmly tells her that this is his life now and he has no regrets. As they talk, Victor admits that Sam reminds him of someone from his past. He never reveals who that person was because even mentioning her brings back painful memories that he has tried to bury for years. Before leaving, Sam gently makes a flower crown with her own hands and places it on Victor's head. It seems like a small act of kindness, but for Victor, it changes everything. No one has ever shown him such warmth or compassion before. That single moment awakens emotions he never thought he could feel again. Deep inside, something in his programming begins to change. And for the first time since the fall of the royal family, Victor experiences what feels like love. That same night, the villagers gather together to discuss their future. They decide to work day and night so they can harvest enough grain before Derek returns. They hope that by giving him everything he demands, they can calm his anger and save their village. But Sophia knows the truth. She understands that Derek never leaves witnesses behind. Even if they surrender every last sack of grain, none of them will survive. Refusing to wait for their fate, Sophia packs her belongings and prepares to leave the village. Her uncle tries to stop her. Instead of running, he says, "Why don't we fight? There must be people out there who want revenge against General Derek." Sophia refuses. She knows that if she gives these people hope, they'll pick up weapons and fight a battle they have no chance of winning. And if that happens, innocent villagers will die for nothing. That very night, another danger begins to unfold. The soldiers who had been tormenting Victor now set their sights on Sam. They begin making horrifying plans to assault her. The entire village is terrified of Derek's men, and no one dares to stand against them. When the soldiers finally seize Sam and try to force themselves on her, Sophia can no longer stay silent. She steps forward and demands that they let the girl go. The soldiers laugh. To them, Sophia is nothing more than an ordinary farmer. That mistake costs them their lives. Within moments, Sophia reveals her true skills. One by one, she cuts down every soldier who attacks her. Only the commander survives, and only because he grabs Sam and holds a gun to her head. Just then, Victor arrives. The commander orders Victor to kill Sophia. For a brief moment, everyone believes Victor will obey. But when he sees Sam's life in danger, something inside him changes once again. Instead of following orders, Victor turns his weapon on the commander and shoots him dead. No one can understand why. Victor had always been loyal to Derek's forces, yet without saying a single word, he walks away and disappears into the darkness. The villagers are horrified. They know exactly what Derek will do when he returns and discovers that every soldier he left behind has been killed. He won't simply punish them. He will burn the entire village to the ground. Sophia finally tells everyone the truth. "We don't have a choice anymore," she says. "If we refuse to fight, we'll all die anyway." But she also knows that defeating Derek's massive army is impossible without help. To stand against him, she must find warriors who hate General Derek just as much as she does. With that goal in mind, Sophia leaves the village alongside Mike, setting out across the galaxy to search for allies. As Sophia and Mike begin their journey, Mike still believes there might be another way out. He says, "Why do we have to fight them? We can keep just enough grain to survive and give Derek everything else. If we compromise, maybe he'll show us mercy." Sophia immediately shakes her head. "Derek doesn't know mercy," she tells him. "If he were capable of showing compassion over something this small, none of this would have happened. The moment we stood up to him, this became a war." As they continue traveling, Mike learns the truth about Sophia's past. She isn't an ordinary farmer at all. Sophia was once a soldier, just like Derek. In fact, she is the adopted daughter of Belisarius, the most feared dictator in the entire universe. Even Derek serves under his command. When Sophia was only 9 years old, Belisarius invaded her home planet, slaughtered everyone who lived there, and spared only her life. Instead of killing her, he adopted her and raised her as his own daughter. To this day, Sophia still doesn't know why he chose to keep her alive. Belisarius trained her to become one of his deadliest assassins. She spent years carrying out his orders without question. But everything changed during one mission. While fighting for Belisarius, Sophia lost the man she loved more than anyone else in the universe. She won the battle, but the man she loved was killed. From that day forward, she turned her back on Belisarius and became a fugitive, spending the rest of her life running from the empire she once served. Meanwhile, far away from the village, Victor continues wandering alone. He stops beside an old scarecrow standing in an empty field. Quietly, he removes the scarecrow's hat and places it on his own head, almost as if he were putting his old military uniform back on. For the first time in years, it seems that Victor has found a new purpose. Meanwhile, Sophia and Mike arrive at a distant settlement in search of rebels. Unfortunately, the man they came looking for has already been captured by bounty hunters. Sophia asks the locals about a legendary warrior named General Titus. An alien tells them that Titus was once a great leader who inspired countless people. The last anyone saw him, however, was on a planet called Pollux. The alien warns them not to go looking for him. The last bounty hunter who tried, he says, ended up losing his head. Just then, another alien begins harassing Mike. Sophia orders him to stay away, but the alien refuses to listen. Instead, he calls over several of his men and prepares to attack them. Without hesitation, Sophia fights back. Within moments, she defeats every one of them and saves Mike. During the fight, a mysterious man steps forward and introduces himself as Charlie. "I heard you're looking for rebels," he says. "I know people who hate Derek and his empire. I can take you to them. There is only one problem. Charlie demands a huge payment for his help." Mike honestly tells him that they don't have money. "The only thing we have," he explains, "is a small amount of grain that our fellow farmers worked incredibly hard to grow. In this part of the galaxy, grain is worth even more than money." Hearing that, Charlie smiles and agrees to help them. Back in the farming village, the remaining villagers are desperately trying to repair an old spaceship. The ship is so worn out that fixing it seems almost impossible. Exhausted from working, they eventually stop to rest. But when they wake up, they're shocked. Someone has repaired the damaged ship while they were asleep. Not only that, fresh food has also been left behind for them. The mysterious helper is none other than Victor. Without revealing himself, he has secretly been protecting and helping the villagers from the shadows. Charlie then takes Sophia and Mike to a blacksmith's workshop, where they meet a man named Rupert. Rupert has spent years working there as a slave, trapped by an enormous debt that would take another 12 years to repay. Sophia asks Rupert to join their mission. Before Rupert can answer, the blacksmith interrupts. He's willing to let Rupert go, but only if they're willing to pay a huge price. Mike explains that they don't have enough money to buy Rupert's freedom. The blacksmith thinks for a moment and offers them a gamble instead. "If Rupert can tame that wild bird the way you claim he can," he says, "I'll set him free. But if he fails, both of you will stay here and work for me." It is a dangerous wager, but also Rupert's only chance to escape. Confident in his abilities, Rupert accepts. Sophia trusts him and agrees to the bet. Rupert slowly approaches the enormous bird and asks the handlers to loosen its restraints. The creature is incredibly wild, and almost no one has ever managed to control it. But Rupert was raised among these animals. Using nothing but patience and experience, he calms the beast with remarkable ease, leaving everyone watching completely stunned. According to the agreement, the blacksmith has no choice but to honor his promise and release Rupert. Believing the bird has become tame, the blacksmith confidently walks toward it, but the bird has never accepted him. The instant he gets close, it attacks without warning, pecking him to death. With Rupert finally free, the group continues their journey. Charlie next leads them to a cobalt mining planet, where they hope to recruit another legendary warrior named Nemesis. Nemesis is one of the countless victims whose family was destroyed by Derek. Ever since that day, revenge has become the only thing keeping her alive. During one of her past battles, she lost both of her arms. Rather than giving up, she replaced them with powerful mechanical limbs and now fights with a deadly laser katana. When Sophia sees Nemesis battling a massive spider-like creature, she immediately recognizes her extraordinary skills. After the fight, Sophia approaches her and asks her to join their cause. Without hesitation, Nemesis agrees. Their team is growing stronger, but Sophia knows that even with Rupert and Nemesis, they still don't have enough people to stand against Derek's army. The one person they still desperately need is General Titus. Eventually, they reach the planet where Titus has been hiding. Instead of finding the legendary commander they expected, they discover him lying on the ground, drunk and living like a beggar. Sophia can hardly believe this broken man is the same warrior the rulers of Motherworld once considered their greatest enemy. They help him clean up, sober him, and recover his strength. Once he is able to speak, Sophia asks him to join their rebellion against Belisarius and Derek. Titus refuses. The wounds from his past run too deep. He fears that anyone who follows him will suffer the same tragic fate as the soldiers he once commanded. Sophia continues trying to convince him. After much persuasion, Titus finally agrees to stand with them. Now they have an experienced commander, a fearless swordswoman, and loyal allies. But they still need even more fighters. Mike remembers another rebel leader named Bloodaxe, a man he once traded grain with. The group travels to meet him and asks him to join their battle against Derek. After thinking it over carefully, Bloodaxe accepts their offer. He doesn't come alone. He also brings several of his own warriors, making their growing rebellion stronger than ever. Meanwhile, after the group leaves, Derek arrives on Bloodaxe's planet. He has already learned that a group of rebels is plotting against him. Enraged, he orders the execution of everyone who gave the rebels shelter or assistance, showing once again that anyone who stands against his empire pays a terrible price. After leaving Bloodaxe's planet, all of the warriors begin traveling towards Sophia's village. Charlie decides to stay with them as well. He claims that he wants to leave his old life behind. But before doing that, he has one final job to finish. He takes the group to a busy spaceport, explaining that he only needs to deliver an important shipment. Once that's done, they'll head straight for the village. At first, no one suspects anything, but it doesn't take long for Sophia to realize she has made a terrible mistake by trusting Charlie. The entire mission has been a trap. Charlie suddenly turns on them and captures every single member of the group. The truth finally comes out. Charlie was never a rebel. He has been a bounty hunter all along. Everything he told them was part of an elaborate plan. He knew he could never capture so many dangerous people by hunting them one at a time. So instead, he cleverly gathered all of Derek's enemies in one place, earning their trust before betraying them. Now, with everyone tied up, he is ready to collect the enormous reward Derek promised him. A short time later, Derek arrives. The moment he sees the captured rebels, a smile spreads across his face. He is especially pleased to find Sophia among them. As the adopted daughter of Belisarius, she is the most wanted criminal in the galaxy. Then Derek looks at Mike. "I understand why the others are here," he says. "But what are you doing with these people?" Charlie hands Mike a gun. He orders him to shoot Sophia. Mike doesn't want to do it. The others force the weapon into his hands and tell him that all he has to do is pull the trigger. If he kills Sophia, they promise to spare his own life. For a brief moment, it seems like Mike has no choice. But instead of aiming at Sophia, he suddenly turns and attacks Charlie. The surprise attack throws everyone into chaos. Sophia breaks free from her restraints, and the rest of the prisoners quickly escape as well. Within seconds, a fierce gunfight erupts across the spaceport. Bullets fly in every direction as the rebels battle Derek's soldiers. Furious, Derek orders all of his men to open fire. At the same time, one of his fighter ships swoops in from above, unleashing a relentless barrage of attacks. Realizing they have to stop the ship before it wipes them all out, Bloodaxe charges directly toward it. It is an incredibly dangerous move. The ship's pilot riddles Bloodaxe's body with bullets, mortally wounding him. Even so, Bloodaxe refuses to give up. Using the last of his strength, he strikes the fighter ship and destroys it. The aircraft crashes into the spaceport, triggering a massive explosion. Countless soldiers are killed in the blast, and Derek loses his chance to escape. The wreckage tears through the port, splitting it into two separate sections. Just before the gap widens completely, Sophia leaps across to the other side. When the smoke finally clears, Derek searches everywhere for her. For a moment, he believes she must have fallen to her death. Then, without warning, Sophia attacks him from above. The two engage in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. At first, Derek gains the upper hand. He overpowers Sophia, knocks her down, and throws her aside. But Sophia refuses to stay down. She gathers every ounce of strength she has left and launches one final assault. This time, she completely overwhelms Derek. She breaks his left arm, then she shatters his right arm. She even crushes one of his legs, leaving him unable to stand. To make him suffer the same pain he has inflicted on countless innocent people, Sophia drives his own staff into his body. Finally, she smashes his teeth and sends him plunging into a bottomless chasm thousands of feet below. Everyone believes Derek is dead. According to the laws of the Mother World, whenever a general dies, the remaining soldiers are required to abandon their mission and return home aboard a rescue ship. For the first time, it seems as though Sophia's village might finally be safe, but their victory is short-lived. After the battle, Derek's battered body is discovered lying unconscious on a distant shoreline. Barely alive, he is taken back by his men and submerged in a special healing liquid that slowly begins repairing his broken body. When Derek finally regains consciousness, he finds himself standing before Belisarius. The dictator is furious. He doesn't care that Derek barely survived. Looking him straight in the eyes, Belisarius gives him a single order. "You will bring my daughter back to me alive, so I can kill her with my own hands. If you fail, I'll execute you in front of everyone in a way that will terrify the entire universe." Derek immediately understands that failure is no longer an option. Meanwhile, back in Sophia's village, the atmosphere is filled with fear. Everyone knows that even though Derek is gone, Belisarius could arrive at any moment. Sophia tries to reassure them. She explains that, according to the Empire's own military rules, once a general dies, every remaining soldier is supposed to return to Motherworld immediately. She believes they still have time. Unfortunately, she's wrong. A former Imperial soldier receives a transmission from one of the enemy ships. The message confirms that Derek's fleet will reach the village in only 5 days. The news leaves everyone speechless. 5 days isn't nearly enough time to prepare for a war against the most powerful empire in the galaxy. General Titus quickly realizes that the villagers' greatest weapon isn't their guns, it's their grain. If Derek discovers that the villagers have hidden rebels while also failing to produce the grain they promised, he'll destroy the entire village from orbit before anyone even has a chance to fight back. If enemy warships begin bombarding them from the sky, the battle will be over before it even starts. Titus gathers every farmer in the village. "We have 3 days, he tells them. Harvest every field." The farmers know the task is almost impossible. Still, not a single person refuses. The very next morning, every man and woman begins working from sunrise until nightfall. Against all odds, they manage to harvest every last crop within 3 exhausting days. With the grain finally stored and ready, everyone knows what comes next. This may be the first battle they fight together. It may also be their last. That evening, after all the work is finished, the villagers share a meal together and celebrate what could be their final peaceful night. Later, Mike quietly asks Sophia a question that's been on his mind. "What did you do?" he asks. "To become the most wanted criminal in the universe." Sophia finally decides to tell him the truth. Back when she still served Belisarius, her loyalty and skill earned her the position of bodyguard to the royal princess. The princess possessed an extraordinary gift. She had the power to bring the dead back to life. The king believed his daughter could unite the galaxy through peace rather than war. He planned to give up his throne and build a future where kingdoms no longer fought each other. But Belisarius wanted the exact opposite. He had spent years building his empire through violence, and he refused to let a young princess destroy everything he had created. So he betrayed the royal family. He secretly arranged for the king, the queen, and the princess to be murdered. Even worse, he forced Sophia to carry out the princess's execution herself. Afterward, Belisarius blamed the entire massacre on Sophia. In front of the whole empire, he declared her responsible for wiping out the royal family. From that moment on, she became the galaxy's most wanted fugitive for crimes she never truly committed. Not far away, Victor watches the conversation from the shadows. He doesn't reveal himself. It almost seems as though he wants to help them, but something inside him still refuses to let him return to the battlefield. On the fourth day, General Titus begins preparing the villagers for the battle ahead. Those who have rifles are taught how to use them properly, while Nemesis trains everyone else in sword fighting. At the same time, the villagers dig a network of underground tunnels where they can hide and launch surprise attacks when the enemy arrives. As the sun begins to set, Titus gathers everyone together. He reminds them that tomorrow could be the last day of their lives. Before facing death, he wants everyone to know who they're fighting beside. Titus is the first to speak. He reveals that Belisarius once ordered him to slaughter innocent women and children, but he refused to carry out those orders. As punishment, Belisarius executed every soldier under his command, right in front of his eyes, leaving him to live with the guilt and the memories. Next, Nemesis shares her story. She tells the group that Belisarius and his forces murdered her children. Ever since that day, revenge has been the only thing keeping her alive. Then Rupert steps forward. He reveals that he was once a prince. His father tried to make peace with Belisarius to protect their people. Instead of accepting peace, Belisarius murdered him without hesitation. Rupert wanted revenge, but he was too weak to fight back alone. Rather than die in a hopeless battle, he ran away and spent years hiding from the Empire. Now it is Sophia's turn. Everyone waits to hear her story, but she still can't bring herself to reveal the entire truth. She doesn't tell them that she is Belisarius' adopted daughter, nor does she confess that she was the one who killed the royal princess under his orders. The following day, Sophia secretly returns to an old spaceship she has kept hidden from the villagers for the past 2 years. She powers it up and carefully hides it beneath a massive waterfall so the enemy won't discover it. While she's there, she notices Victor quietly following her. Sophia looks at him and asks, "Why won't you fight alongside us?" Victor lowers his head. Ever since the royal family was killed, he has blamed himself for failing to protect them. The guilt has haunted him for so long that he gave up fighting altogether. Sophia tells him that their stories are more alike than he realizes. "I helped my father destroy the very royal family you swore to protect," she admits. "I've carried that regret every day since, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life running from my past. I want to stand against injustice, even if it costs me everything." Victor listens in silence. Then he quietly replies, "You know you can't defeat Derek. These villagers will disappear without leaving a trace." But Sophia has already made her choice. No matter what happens, she refuses to back down. Before long, Derek's fleet finally arrives above the village. The moment General Titus sees the enemy ships, he rings the alarm bell. Every villager rushes into position. As Derek lands, he notices something unusual. Thousands of sacks of grain have been spread across the village. He immediately realizes that if he attacks from the air, the grain will be destroyed as well, needing those supplies for his army. He has no choice but to bring his troops down to the ground. Standing face to face with Sophia, Derek asks, "What do you hope to gain from all of this?" Sophia answers calmly, "The villagers are willing to give you the grain you came for. But if you try to take it by force, you'll pay the price." Derek smiles. "Do you really think I don't know where you've hidden the villagers?" he says. "I'm only here to keep you distracted. By now, my soldiers have already captured the women and children." He takes another step forward. "The people you've gathered to fight me aren't nearly as important to Belisarius as you are. If you come with me willingly, I'll spare your friends and the villagers." For a moment, Sophia considers surrendering. She doesn't want innocent people to die because of her. She quietly walks away to say goodbye to Mike one last time. But Mike refuses to let her sacrifice herself. He tells her that Derek will never keep his promise. "The moment you're gone," Mike says, "he'll kill all of us anyway." Sophia still starts walking toward Derek. Realizing she won't change her mind, Mike makes a decision of his own. He reaches for the alarm and rings it. In an instant, the hidden villagers emerge from the underground tunnels, and the battle for their home finally begins. The moment the alarm echoes across the village, the hidden fighters burst out from the underground tunnels and launch a surprise attack. The villagers strike with everything they have, destroying several of Derek's landing ships in a series of powerful explosions. Many of his soldiers are killed before they even have a chance to react. But Derek isn't shaken. He charges straight into the tunnels himself, cutting down anyone who stands in his way with ruthless efficiency. Meanwhile, Gunnar and Cora realize that defeating the enemy on the ground won't be enough. As long as Derek's command ship continues sending reinforcements, the battle can never be won. The two of them steal a ship and head toward the massive warship in orbit, determined to destroy it from the inside. Back in the village, the farmers fight with incredible courage. At first, they manage to overwhelm several enemy soldiers, but Derek's forces seem endless. Wave after wave of troops pours into the battlefield. While protecting the women and children, Nemesis suffers devastating injuries. Even after fighting with everything she has, she is ultimately struck down by an enemy soldier and loses her life. At the same time, Sophia launches her hidden ship and flies directly toward Derek's flagship. To avoid suspicion, she pretends that her ship has malfunctioned and requests permission to board for emergency repairs. The deception works. The enemy grants her access, allowing Sophia and her companions to enter the warship without raising any alarms. Once inside, they head straight for the control room. Their plan is simple. If they can seize control of the ship, they can stop more enemy soldiers from reaching the village. Meanwhile, back on the ground, Titus, Rupert, and the villagers fight side by side. Together, they eliminate every soldier still inside the village. For a brief moment, it looks like they've actually won. Cheers begin to spread through the battlefield. But their celebration doesn't last long. More enemy ships suddenly appear overhead. Without hesitation, they unleash a devastating barrage of fire upon the village. Several villagers are killed instantly. The remaining farmers continue fighting with everything they have, but they slowly realize the painful truth. They are losing. Inside the flagship, Sophia begins planting explosive charges throughout the ship. Before she can finish, several soldiers discover her. A fierce firefight breaks out inside the corridors. Sophia manages to defeat every one of them, but just before the last soldier dies, he reports Sophia's presence directly to Derek. The news fills Derek with rage. Ignoring every warning, he orders his fleet to destroy the entire village. One of his officers reminds him that the grain they desperately need is still down there. Another points out that many of their own soldiers are also fighting on the ground. If they bombard the village now, their own men will die as well. Derek doesn't care. If they die, he says coldly, there will simply be fewer mouths left to feed. Back in the village, the surviving farmers continue resisting with unbelievable determination. But as the enemy closes in from every direction, it becomes painfully clear that they cannot hold out much longer. Then, just when all hope seems lost, someone unexpected enters the battlefield. Victor has returned. The peaceful robot who once refused to fight finally unleashes the warrior he had buried inside himself. With overwhelming force, Victor tears through Derek's soldiers one after another, clearing the battlefield and saving the remaining villagers. The tide of the battle changes instantly. The enemy forces on the ground are defeated, but the greatest danger still hangs above them. A missile is moments away from being launched from Derek's flagship. Just as the firing sequence begins, Sophia's explosives detonate. A massive explosion rips through the warship. The blast throws the missile off course, sending it crashing harmlessly miles away from the village. Derek's flagship begins breaking apart. The entire vessel starts falling out of the sky. As Derek's flagship begins to fall apart, he is consumed by rage. Determined to end everything with his own hands, he hunts Sophia through the collapsing ship, ready to kill her once and for all. At the same time, Mike fights his way towards Sophia, desperate to help her escape. Before he can reach her, Derek shoots him. Wounded but still alive, Mike refuses to give up. As the warship breaks apart beneath them, all three of them are thrown into freefall while continuing their brutal fight. Even as the ship crashes around them, neither Sophia nor Derek is willing to back down. During the struggle, Derek loses his sword, leaving himself defenseless for the first time. Enraged, he grabs Sophia by the throat and begins strangling her, just as she is about to lose consciousness. Mike attacks Derek from behind despite his serious injuries. His attack distracts Derek long enough for Sophia to break free. Without wasting a second, she seizes the opportunity. With one powerful strike, Sophia beheads Derek. This time, his death is final. Moments later, the remaining sections of the flagship crash to the ground. Fortunately, Derek's surviving soldiers manage to escape aboard smaller ships and immediately head toward the village. Sophia and Mike also survive the crash. They manage to land their damaged ships some distance away from the battlefield. But Mike has lost far too much blood. Sophia desperately tries to save him, yet both of them know the truth. His wounds are fatal. Despite the pain, Mike smiles. He tells Sophia that he has no regrets because he isn't dying for nothing. Before taking his final breath, he looks into her eyes and quietly says that he loves her and always will. With those final words, Mike passes away. Meanwhile, Bloodaxe's sister arrives with her own forces. Without hesitation, she attacks the remaining enemy soldiers who escaped from Derek's flagship. One after another, they are eliminated before they can reach the village. At last, the battle is over. The villagers have won, but the victory comes at a heartbreaking cost. Many brave warriors gave their lives to protect their home. Funerals are held for everyone who fell during the battle, and the villagers gather to honor their sacrifice and pray for their souls. Still grieving Mike's death, Sophia finally tells the villagers the truth she has hidden for so long. She confesses that she is Belisarius' adopted daughter. She also admits that Mike lied to protect her. To her surprise, no one turns against her. General Titus quietly reveals that he already knew who she really was. Instead of blaming her, the villagers forgive her. Then Titus shares something even more shocking. He tells Sophia that although she believes she killed the royal princess years ago, the princess is actually still alive. She's been hiding somewhere all this time. Hearing those words fills Sophia with hope for the first time in years. If the princess is alive, then Belisarius can finally be defeated. The group makes a new promise. Their fight didn't end with Derek's death. Now they will search for the missing princess, bring down Belisarius' empire, and free the countless innocent people still suffering under his rule. With that promise, the story comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.